What's up, peeps? It's Paris Life, and I'm going to go into part 3 of my beat making series. So let's get into it. All right, so on the last one I was talking about software. So on this one I'm going to talk a little bit more about MIDI controllers, which are super important, more like super helpful. You can do it without them, but I recommend them. And standalone beat making, and yeah, mixing a little tiny bit. We'll go into it. But anyway, so let's start with MIDI controllers. So MIDI controllers, those are the keyboards that you type on, not type on, but you the keyboard like a regular piano almost. It has the white keys, the black keys, right? But those are the keyboards that you use to articulate which notes you want to play at any given moment, right? And then you have other MIDI controllers where they have the drum pads, the beat pads, right, which are pretty dope to have if you're able to, but not necessarily the end all be all. And then you have combinations, and I think there are some other types too, but those are the two main ones. You got keyboard MIDI controllers, you got beat pad / drum pad MIDI controllers, and you have combinations where it has a I didn't mean to flick you off. It's just trying to count. Started with my pinky. But anyway, you have combinations where they have the drum pads and the keyboards on them. And those are pretty dope too. Generally, if you're trying to go portable, I think you lose a little bit of functionality, but overall, the convenience is a huge factor. I would say, as far as MIDI controllers, you know, you can get a good one for about $100, $150. You're pretty solid. If you want like a full size keyboard with drum pads or without, you're gonna maybe spend a little bit more. But for $100, $150, even less than $100, if you go used, you can find really great stuff. The highest recommendation I can give you if you're just getting started and want to kind of get your feet wet without going too crazy, it is the Akai MPK Mk II. And that thing is pretty dope. It's 25 keys and it has 8 drum pads. I have the Mark 1, or I had the Mark 1. It's at my girlfriend's house now, but it's just like a little piece of art because it doesn't work anymore. But anyway, it's in Japan somewhere. But anyway, that one was cool. The drum pads on it are dope. Those are really dope. The keyboard I don't like that much. I haven't messed with the Mark II, but a lot of my friends have them, and it seems like they work pretty well. You know what I mean? So the Mark II on that one, my boy Kneeboard, shout out to DJ Kneeboard, Robin Clemente, man. He's been rocking one of those for a minute, and he likes that thing a lot. And the kids, once they get to be able to use it, they can learn how to make beats on that thing pretty easily too. I hope my eye ain't cockeyed. Let me know in the comments if my eye is cockeyed looking. I'm still getting used to this light. I got a light. Hey, moving up in the world, moving up on YouTube, right? But anyway, you know, Native Instruments has some cool ones. The M-Audio Oxygen is pretty freaking dope as well. What else? There's a bunch of them, but try different things out. Go to Guitar Center and see how they feel when you kind of press on them and everything, and that'll help you a lot with making that kind of decision. You know, but just don't just buy the first thing that jumps out at you. Try a couple things out, but I would recommend, for getting into the game, get a newer used MPK Mini Mark II. That's probably your best option right there. I like the Arturias too for straight up keyboard usage. The Arturia, the small ones and the big ones really, but the keyboards on the little ones are dope. I like the full weighted keys, or semi-weighted, whatever. I don't even know if they're weighted, but the key action on those is really comfortable compared to the smaller key sizes you find on a smaller MIDI keyboard like the MPK. So if you can get your Arturia to work with the drum pads, game over. Game over. I like the Arturias a lot too. Other MIDI controllers, I could go on and on, but I'll definitely say experiment. Cannot go wrong with that. Now beyond that, there's some standalone options too, but they're more expensive. So, you know, legendary beat maker device is the MPC. And now they're still in the game. They got the Live, they got the X, they just made a new one. I don't even know what it's called, but it looks dope. And MPC has been going hard recently. I think they got the Live II or something like that. That thing is dope. It's a rack, you know what I mean? So it might even be more. It might be like 1,200. So, you know, that's not something I'm gonna spare right now. You know what I mean? But it's a standalone, so you can hook it up to some headphones and just make beats on that thing wherever you go. You know, and it'll have like a battery charge that you can use to power it, right? So you don't need a laptop or anything. And then Maschine actually just came out with one, which I believe is 1,400. I believe it's called a Maschine Plus. And that thing is pretty cool, because that was my thing with Maschine when I first got my Mark II. I was like, man, this is dope. I wish I didn't have to have it hooked up to my computer. So now with the Plus, you get that. But I've heard, I haven't heard from anyone who's used one yet. So if you use one, let me know in the comments. But it's a big investment, you know what I mean? I think it's worth it to just use your home computer with some simple software, some low-cost software. Just see if it's something you enjoy doing or something you can make money off of. One of the two. There's nothing wrong with either. And then if you like it and you just want to keep going, then cool. If you have been doing it and now you're making a little bit of money, then cool. You know what I mean? Now reinvest those profits into getting some bigger, better things, right? To make it easier and more fun for you to keep doing what you love to do. That's what it comes down to. I'm gonna make a quick note here about mixing. So you gotta learn how to mix at least a little bit as a producer. So just so you can make your beats crack, right? So your beats can sound good without, you know, you don't want people to hear your beats and then be like, oh, this is trash. I don't want to listen to this. You want your beats to sound nice and clean, or you can make them sound grimy if you want to, but you want to be able to have control of that. You don't want your style necessarily to come out of a bunch of accidents. You could do that, and people have done that, and it ends up being dope, but you want to be able to, the more you can articulate what you want, the better of a producer you'll be, and the easier you'll have of a time producing. That is why Pharrell is such a dope producer. Now, that's not just mixing. He actually knows music theory like the back of his hand, it seems like. But things like mixing can help even make a producer who doesn't know theory, their beats will still sound super crazy because they just know how to get the effect that they want, get the desired outcome that they want. So with mixing, you might have to do your research and learn that for sure. And I may at some point make a video on it. I'm not an engineer. I know how to do a little bit, but I do it as a means to an end. I hire people to do that kind of stuff. So that kind of shows you how much value mixing has in your overall process. I pay money to have people do it. So you can always have people mix your stuff later. The thing for me, again, I make my own beats. So I'll make a beat, and then I add my vocals to it. I send all those tracks to an engineer and let them mix it. Boom. I'll mix it a little bit though. I know how to get the flavor that I want so that the engineer knows what flavor I'm looking for. So this beat might have barbecue sauce on it, you know what I mean, with this brisket. Okay, so when I give it to you, you might gotta go light with whatever you're adding to it. You know, I don't want you to change the flavor too much, as No ID might say, right? And so You know, mixing is super important. Beyond that, just have fun. You know, I can't really say much more than that. Just have fun, experiment, you know. And I would say before you try to get into it to make money, make sure that you get your skill level up to a point where you feel confident asking to get paid, you know. And then it's the whole argument of marketing versus talent and everything. But I would say get your skills to a certain point before you start asking people to pay you for your beats, etc. Right. So that's pretty much it for this one. You know, just get out there, see what's out there, try different things, and have fun. You know what I mean? And so if you have any questions, hit me in the comments. Hit me in the comments. You can send me. I don't know if YouTube lets you send messages no more. But I'm here on YouTube at Paris Life Music, Instagram at Paris Life Music. What else? Twitter at Paris Life Music 6, Facebook at Paris Life Music. So I'm everywhere. Snapchat, it's a Paris Life. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all in the next series. Peace.